Welcome to another grudge match and the final installment of this series, race fans. We've got the winners and runner-ups of the police car rally racing against the winner and runner-up of the redemption tournament. The redemption tournament was made up of the drivers that got bounced in the first round of the main tournament. So needless to say, these two drivers have a bit of a chip on their shoulders. But before we get started, we gotta settle this score first, because Jonathan Hammer on the left and Mark Taylor on the right tied for second place in the main tournament. So we're going to have a 2-lap play in to see who advances. Hammer has the inside lane. Those two battling, Hammer with a slight lead into turn 2, creating some distance into turn 3, coming around, Taylor spinning a bit, and Hammer takes it. He has the advantage, and now we switch lanes. If Hammer wins again, he moves on. If Taylor wins, then the driver with the largest margin of victory will advance. Taylor with the inside lane, pulling away early into turn 2, coming around, still accelerating, creating distance into turn 3. No answer from Hammer yet, and Taylor heads to the finish line and takes it to even the score. And so we go to the tiebreaker. Those two starting lights there, those are seams at the track. Taylor's in between them when Hammer crosses the finish line. But when Taylor crosses the finish line, Hammer hasn't even reached the first light. Taylor clearly has the larger margin of victory. He moves on, and we say goodbye to Hammer. Driving Lethal Diesel from Team Cogspeed, the number 4 seed and redemption tournament runner-up, McKenna Ritz. Driving Hypertruck in yellow trim from Mini Mafia Motors, the number 3 seed and redemption champion, Dreddy. The number 2 seed, Mark Taylor, you just saw him, from Riley's Racing DRC, is the Police Chase Rally Tournament runner-up, and he's driving What For 2, and driving Burlesque, the Police Chase Rally champion and number 1 seed from Lone Star DRC, Greg Hearn. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 8 laps to sort this out while you're getting chased by these two. Good luck. Let's race. Ritz and Dreddy in the front row. Taylor, Dreddy, Ritz sideways into turn 2. Now Taylor's separating from Dreddy, who's separating from Ritz. And Taylor's coming around, and it's Taylor, Dreddy, Ritz, and Hearn. Scoring is 7 points for first, 5 for second, 4 for third, 3 for last, and a DNF is a 0. Drivers lose a point for every cop that beats them to the finish line. Taylor and Dreddy showing speed and control. Clean race by all drivers. Ritz and Hearn in the front row. Hearn separating early into turn 2. Still accelerating. We saw a lot of this in the main tournament. And once he gets the lead, oh, and here comes Taylor, charging fast. Oh, and he catches him sleeping at the wheel. Then Dreddy third, and Ritz. Whoa! Well, I never saw that one coming, but apparently Taylor did. He's first in double digits with a 5-point lead over Hearn and 6 over Dreddy. Ritz is fourth, but penalized 2 points for getting beat by the cops. Taylor and Hearn in the front row. Hearn leading a tight pack into turn 2. Coming around, still leading into turn 3, and here comes Taylor coming around in the draft, trying to slingshot around him, and Kenny, oh, and Hearn just hangs on barely for the win. So Taylor is still leading, but Hearn closes the gap to 4. Dreddy's now 6 back, and Ritz is running out of chances at 11 back. Dreddy and Taylor in the front row. Taylor taking off again into turn 2, Dreddy trying to keep up. Taylor accelerating, turn 3, coming around, spinning and slowing. Here comes Dreddy, and oh, he smacks him instead of going around, and Taylor takes it for the win. Hearn third, and Ritz coming in 4th. So Taylor has lapped the field at the halfway point. Hearn is 8 behind, and Dreddy's 9 back. Ritz continues to struggle. Ritz and Dreddy in the front row. Those two, Ritz and Dreddy, neck and neck into turn 2. Now Ritz is pulling ahead, Dreddy's chasing, heading into turn 3. Both drivers swerving left, right, and Ritz gets her first victory, followed by Dreddy, Hearn, and Taylor behind the blue cops. So Ritz gets a lap win, still pretty far from the leader though. Taylor still leading, but Hearn and Dreddy have quietly closed the gap to 4 points with 3 more laps. Still plenty of racing left. Ritz and Hearn in the front row. Hearn surging ahead into turn 2. Seen this before. Still pulling away, but here comes Taylor roaring back, breathing down his bumper, looking for an opening. And can he find it? And oh, Hearn holds him off for the win again. What an incredible series. So with that win, Taylor's lead is now down to 2 points. Dreddy still has a puncher's chance. Ritz is exactly 2 laps behind with 2 laps to go. Taylor and Hearn in the front row. Hearn, Ritz, Taylor single file into turn 2. Ritz drafting off Hearn, looking for that opening. Where's Taylor? The green gap coming up fast, goes past Ritz, closing it. Oh, Hearn holds on again. But what? And tragedy strikes for Taylor. Oh, he gets caught up there on turn 2 for a DNF. And what will this do to the score? And boom, shaka-laka-laka. Hearn takes the lead by 5 over Taylor with 1 lap left. Dreddy and Ritz are too far back, so this final lap is about Hearn and Taylor. Taylor will be in the front row. After 105 laps in this entire series, it all comes down to this one. Race fans, if you're not excited by now, check yourself for a pulse and see if you're still breathing. Let's race. Dreddy and Taylor in the front row. Taylor, Dreddy, Hearn single file into turn 2. Taylor accelerating again, but Dreddy's in the draft. Hearn trailing. Taylor still leading. Dreddy sideways, and Hearn goes around them. Brilliant, and slides in for second, which is more than enough. So Taylor finishes the way he started, winning both the first and the final lap. But the day belongs to Greg Hearn from Lone Star DRC. Congratulations, you are the Slingshot 360 Police Rally Grudge Match Champion. Thank you so much for following this series, race fans. Make sure you check these other channels out. Norman Verne Racing out of Canada, Miniature Car Racing out of Florida, and Riley's Rally DRC out of the UK. You can find me at Slingshot 360 Diecast Racing on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the races.